Champions League as Stelmet Zielona Gora hosts Szolnoki Olaj from Hungary. It's Group E of the Basketball Champions League. Both teams will be looking for a win as their current records are equal at 1 win, 3 losses. So they'll be looking to pick up a vital win to ease the pressure off themselves. We might be at the bottom of Group E, but you can see both teams will be pushing for that ever so crucial victory and to move up the table in Group E. And as you can see, the other Group E fixtures tonight, Partizan will take on winless Spiru, while Dinamo Sassari will take on the favorites Besiktas, while other favorites AEK will take on MHP Riesen Ludwigsburg. That will be tomorrow. Our host tonight, Stelmet Zielona Gora. They came off a recent disappointing result where they went to Besiktas and they lost by just under 20 points. They didn't play too poorly, but they couldn't hang with the hosts and they succumbed to a big defeat. There we can see the standings in Group E, while Besiktas, as just mentioned, sit at top, with also favorites AEK and Partizan knocking on the door. And you can see our host tonight sitting in 6th place, with our visitors just below them, with the same records of 1 and 3. This game is so crucial for both teams. Although we're early in the days of the Basketball Champions League, you got to start picking up some victories, because you don't want to be hanging down there at the bottom. These teams don't want to be using this as a learning season, though. They want to qualify. So tonight is a big, big game for both teams. Szolnoki Olaj hosts some very, very exciting players. James Kinney at the point. You can see Troy Barnes of University of Maine, the big man Ryan Wright, but it's all about the big man, it's all about David Vojvoda, the top scorer, and Milos Borisov. David Vojvoda played a very impressive game against Partizan where they came up with a loss, scored 21 points, and it wasn't enough, and he will be heavily dependent on tonight to lift this team. The host Stelmet Zielona Gora also hosting some very, very good players. The big man Julian Vaughn, other Americans that feature Armani Moore, James Florence, and the experienced veteran Thomas Kaladi. Thomas Kaladi plays a crucial role for this team, as the other Americans are very young and just coming. Kaladi is now in his 13th or 14th year playing overseas. He is also a member of the Polish national team playing in the 2011 Eurobasket. He acts as a mentor to these younger players who will be developing stronger careers in Europe and also looking to push Stelmet Zielona Gora in the Basketball Champions League. David Vojvoda, a very quick shooter, and a good isolator. He can take on any defender, and the best thing about him is that he can create a shot in any pressurized situation. He's gonna have to play a big game tonight. So Szolnoki Olaj, they've started life quite rough here in the Basketball Champions League. In their opening game against AEK, they lost heavily 92-49. They picked up a very close victory against Dinamo Sassari, and then losing against MHP Riesen. And last week, losing to Partizan. So they got to win tonight, just so the host as well. Vojvoda, as mentioned, James Kinney, he's got to deliver tonight. Christian Wittmann hasn't really shined too much here in the BCL, but he's capable and he'll be needed. And they're away tonight, and that might just go in their favor, because as we mentioned, both teams stand at 1 and 3. Zielona Gora, they're at home, and sometimes that can put a little bit of pressure on you, because both teams desperately need the win. And in front of your home crowd, you've got to get off to a good start. You don't want to get too anxious in the beginning. Julian Vaughn, Armani Moore, they're going to be dependent on tonight. They've got to step up. They've got to deliver. The veteran, Thomas Kaladi, got to show the composure tonight. They've got to ride the storm. They've got to pick up this victory to give this home crowd something to cheer about. And hopefully they can kickstart their Basketball Champions League campaign into gear as they wanted to. Zielona Gora haven't played too poorly in the Basketball Champions League. They started off with very close defeats against Dinamo Sassari and Partizan. They lost only by 2. They beat MHP Reason by 2. And when they went to Turkey last week, they started off decently. They capitulated in the second half. But Besiktas are the favourites for this Group E. And they'll look at that game they played last week. They would have done their homework on Szolnoki Olaj. And they're going to be going for it. Both teams just showing their respect, shaking hands before tip. There you can see our officials. The Basketball Champions League takes great pride in having some of the finest officials in the world. Boris Shulga, Andrius Onk-Rogers, and Vetislav Velikov, representing Bulgaria, Latvia, and Ukraine. The officiating in the Basketball Champions League has been some of the finest in world basketball, and will continue to do so. A lot of interesting matchups tonight. The question for Stelmet Zielona Gora is, how are they going to deal with the top scorer in David Vojvoda? If we look at Szolnoki Olaj, you can see Ryan Wright, the big man in the middle. And they've moved in Giannis Ellingsfield to be his partner down low. David Vojvoda, as mentioned, will start with James Kinney at the 1. Troy Barnes will also join them in the backcourt. A lot of questions to be asked of both teams. Stoyan Ivkovic, Szolnoki Olaj head coach. You can see them, he's just dealing with the pressure himself. Early deep breaths. Zielona Gora getting ready for their matchup and hopefully get off to an early start, get the crowd on their side. Not quite a full house, but at least those fans can give them an extra voice in the game, get behind them, and hopefully act as a sixth man. And our starters for the hosts. Zamoyski will start at the 2, and the Montenegrin Nemanja Jurisic will play down low, along with Julian Vaughan, the big man. And they will be joined by James Florence and Armani Moore. It's going to be an interesting matchup tonight. Julian Vaughan, as he goes up against Ryan Wright. These two big men, they're not your go-to big men, but they fit the system well. And Julian Vaughan, he's got a lot to offer. Scored 13 points last week against Besiktas, but his struggles and his woes are at the free throw line. And I'm pretty sure Szolnoki Olaj will try to foul him, what they used to call back in the day the hacker shack. Try and exploit him through his weaknesses. Another name to mention for the hosts is Karol Grusecki. He's averaging 13 points per game here in the Basketball Champions League, and an impressive 14 points against Naharia. It'll be interesting to see how he gets off tonight. Not too much to cheer about, but interesting enough, James Florence, a very explosive point guard. He's averaging 14 points per game in this competition. He started off on fire against Besiktas, but wasn't noticed in the rest of the game. You can't give him any time and space. And that will be a hot hand for James Kinney to handle tonight. Kinney as well. He's capable, he's got the tools. He's got to get off and give his team a little bit extra tonight. A very good player. He's just waiting to find spark. As it's all a bit about David Vojvoda for our guests from Hungary. We're set for tip. We might be at the bottom of Group E in the bottom 3. But it's a great game to watch because both teams need a victory. Both teams need to kickstart their Basketball Champions League campaign. And it's going to be a good one. Armani Moore, you can see the focus. He's getting ready for the game. Along with Julian Vaughan. Stelmet Zielona Gora sit third in their domestic lead, just like their visitors from Hungary. Szolnoki Olaj also sitting third. And they rub shoulders in the bottom 3 of Group E, and they'll want to get out of it. Kinney and Barnes just discuss with the referee. They shake hands. The tip will be between Julian Vaughan and Ryan Wright. The big man duo. It's going to be a physical matchup between these two. A lot to prove tonight. You just start to hear the home crowd starting to warm it up. Spice the atmosphere. They know how big this game is. It's a clash, not at the Titans, but at the bottom. But you'll get that feeling throughout the game. And the hosts, Zielona Gora, start off with the ball. Kozarek. They get the more pick and roll down low. Kicks it out. They go to the corner. And there we go. We started off, mentioned Julian Vaughan. When I said he's got to give his team a bit, he just answered my question. And it looked like Kozarek tried to throw the alley-oop. It went off the backboard, but Vaughan picked it up, slammed it down. Kinney, he's got options. Takes it with his left through, off the backboard. He cannot get the and one. Very smooth move there, slippery move by James Kinney. It looked like a travel, but he managed to split the defense. Couldn't get the and one to go. The foul appears to be on Zamoyski. Zamoyski putting some impressive numbers here in the Basketball Champions League at 8 points a game. James Kinney makes the first. Played his college basketball at San Jose State in his senior year. Started off with 20 points per game in his college career, but controversially was left off the team. His team did not win another game after a suspension. And now he's in Europe. He gets his first 2 points for his team. Zamoyski, pick and roll with Jurisic. Crossover, step back three, off the front rim. Vojvoda comes up with a rebound, hugs the sideline. Down low to right, can't catch it, gets it back. Backs down Vaughan. Loses it, ball comes up. Vaughan transition, he's gonna take it all the way. Off the backboard, neatly finished. Armani Moore. There you can see Armani Moore. Look at the defense there in Vojvoda. Knows he's the top scorer, not letting him touch the ball. Vojvoda tries to go baseline. Good defense by Moore. We've got to switch. Step back three. That's why he's a top scorer for this team. Uses the pick, steps back, a difficult shot, gets a three-pointer. Great play by David Vojvoda. Kozarek down low to Julian Vaughan. The big man, he's got space. To the corner, Moore, three. Can't get it. Almost tips it back in his own rim. Appears to be a foul going to, we'll be with you in 1 second. Yep, it appears that it's the over the back foul. And that is on Nemanja Jurisic. You can see Jurisic as well pulling the t-shirt. He's lucky to get away with that one. Barnes gives it up, Kinney. Look down low, couldn't get it. We're gonna still, oh. And I think somebody needs to tell Julian Vaughan that if he wants a contract in football, he should head to Madrid, because in basketball, we just don't kick the ball. Szolnoki will get it baseline. Vojvoda will inbound it. And right, an unusual shot for him as it's not his distance. And there you can see why he doesn't take those shots. Kozarek kicks it out. Jurisic. They go under the big fella. Can't catch it. Jurisic, he's got to go up with it. Beautiful move there by Nemanja Jurisic. Just as he thought he was going to fumble it, he picks it up, spins, twists through the defense, and manages to kiss it off the rim. Kinney cross court to Vojvoda. Beautiful fake, a floater. Nicely done. David Vojvoda. He's off to a good start here with 5 points. Moore. Jurisic. Goes to the middle, gets by, can't get the and one. He draws the foul there on Janos Evingsfield. Good move there by Nemanja Djurovic, the Montenegrin. Nemanja Djurovic played his college basketball at the University of Georgia. Scored 1,000 points in his 4 years there. Also played some high school basketball in South Kent, Connecticut. Started his basketball career as he was advised by his older brother to get into the game. That's the best advice you can get from a family member. Two for two. Christian Wittmann just checked into the game, the Hungarian. Voivoda, heavily guided by Armani Moore. He's got to get up on him, can't give him any room. Good defense there. You can see Zamoyski just put his hand in as Borisov tried to attack the basket, and he hit it off Borisov. Zielona Gora will get it back. Alexa Popovic will check into the game. Alexa Popovic scored an impressive 13 points in their only win against Dinamo Sassari. He's got a lot to offer for this team. We'll see what time tells he checks into this game. Jurisic tries to isolate, goes to his right. Can't get it to go off the backboard. Szolnoki will break. Borisov. Evingsfield sets the screen, rolls. A good defense there from Nemanja Djurovic. There's a nice play there from Janos Evingsfield. He set the screen, he rolled to the basket. He got a good pass by Wittmann, but the end product was disturbed by Nemanja Djurovic's excellent defense. Officials just checking everything's okay with the scoreboard. And the question is, do we go back to a 14? But nope, they'll stick with 10 seconds on the shot clock. There in the back, you can just see some traveling fans from Hungary with the red and black scarves represent the colors of Szolnoki Olaj. It's always great to see traveling fans. We're set to get back. Voivoda, quick three. David Voivoda. He inbounded the pass, got the handoff. Looked like a three. It was indeed. It's his second tonight. He's on fire already. Armani Moore. Jurisic. Cross court, Zamoyski. He'll pull for three. Triple time. We go one end, we go the other time. Wittmann. Correction, apologies on the recent. The recent shot from David Voivoda was a 2, not a 3. Alexa Popovic. Voivoda, can he create again? He go to the middle. And he's up to 9 points right now, David Voivoda. Zielona Gora haven't done the homework because they knew he was a top scorer for this team. You gotta get on him. Armani Moore is a good defender. Now that's down the other end. Still keeps his dribble alive. And neatly puts it off the backboard. Armani Moore. Wittmann kicks out to Popovic. Popovic goes baseline, and he gets blocked off the backboard by Armani Moore, who's an excellent defender. Behind the back pass, oh, he better get it for... And again, it was a careless play there from Zielona Gora. And you can see Armani Moore looking at him like, you know, why don't you just give me a normal pass? Instead, they come up with a turnover. Now Armani Moore will check out of the game. You can see Christian Wittmann putting Moore under pressure. Moore's got to touch it, get a backcourt violation. Now you can see here, he almost loses it, but keeps his dribble, just gets it off the backboard. You can see David Voivoda is about to inbound it for Szolnoki Olaj. And the last time he did that, he got it in, got a quick handoff and pulled up for 3. His last game was Partizan. The Partizan are an excellent team. Voivoda, you put 1, you put 2 defenders on him, he still gets a shot off. He's such a creative player. But Zielona Gora, you've got to try and force him to the basket. Don't give him any room because he will shoot the ball. And he'll shoot it prolifically. The officials just reviewing a few recent events, make sure they're on top of everything. Done a good job so far. Szolnoki Olaj will be very pleased with their start to this game. As mentioned, they've had 2 major blowouts here in Group E. A win tonight definitely settle them down, give them a little bit more confidence going into the rest of this campaign. It's such a big game for both teams. They need the win. Evingsfield. Back to Voivoda. Wittmann. Voivoda, step back, no space. Wittmann didn't know where to shoot or pass, and they turn it over. Zielona Gora break. Zamoyski, 3 in transition, way off. Wittmann comes back up with it. Borisov. Evingsfield, wide open, triple. And kisses it with his English. Giannis Evingsfield played some good minutes in their recent game against Partizan. Tonight he's going to give a little bit more. They got on the board, the big fella. Been a little bit quiet in the last few minutes. Jurisic, pump fakes, gets into the lane and he loses it. And Voivoda will break. They got numbers. They kick out. Borisov, he'll pump fake, pull up 15 feet. It looks like they've caught a foul there on Nemanja Jurisic. You can see he's just pushing Alexa Popovic in the back as he went for that rebound. And you can't use that advantage. It's a second foul. Ryan Wright will check back into the game. And there's the veteran, the guy with the experience, Thomas Kaladi. He's a mentor to these younger players on this Zielona Gora team. But enough about his experience, it's what he delivers. He's got the shot, and he's got the aggression. He'll get to the basket. James Kinney shakes and bakes, and swivels around, slippery. Nice little move there from James Kinney. Uses his left hand so beautifully. Kazarek, Kaladi, the veteran. Guided by the young fella, James Kinney. Looks like Kazarek just had a push-up and gets away with it. Kaladi, dish-off pass, Bourne. There you can see that's what the experience gives you. As he attacks the basket, the defense collapses. He dishes it off to the big man, who throws it down with a cram jam. Popovic, Kinney, young buck. Alexa, down, the other big fella. Doesn't have enough room to dunk it, but he finished it easily. Nice play there from Alexa Popovic. Just handing it off to Ryan Wright, who will finish it. And we got a good game here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a very close game. Both these teams really need the win. They know the importance of it. Zielona Gora will call timeout. They'll want to talk it over. Both teams have started very brightly. It's exciting up and down stuff to watch. You can see Szolnoki Olaj shooting 100% from the three-point line. Stelmet Zielona Gora only hit 1 so far. Both teams playing a bit of transition basketball.
Everything. A 4, 3, a 4 is fine big. Okay, no problem, easy. Now one more free motion. Okay, first offense, 3 motion.
Only early minutes. see Stelmet Zielona Gora without any offensive rebounds. And in a game like this, you want to be fighting for everything. Get second chances, get those offensive boards. That was our first play of the game. Looks like he's trying an alley-oop. Bounces off the backboard, but Vaughan still gets it. He almost rips the ring down. Armani Moore showing the strength and the resilience to get to the basket, make contact with Ryan Wright, kissing it off the backboard. We're back underway. James Florence checks in. Started his game off very well against Besiktas last week, but was quiet for the rest. It's another one, you give him any space, he will stroke it from the perimeter. Very creative point guard. A little mini Euro step right there. Finishes it with his right hand. Smooth move there from James Florence. It's a good matchup we got here. James Kinney and James Florence. Three with a hand in his face, off the back rim. And Big Nemanja comes with the rebound. Florence gets a screen. Kaladi, the veteran, goes sideline. Kicks out. We got another penetration. Another kick out. Florence pump fakes. Kaladi, long three. Can't get it. That's the first offensive board of the game. Kaladi, baseline. Bit of physical defense there from Christian Wittmann. He's called for a foul. Just under a minute to go here in the first quarter. It's been a good game between Szolnoki Olaj and Zielona Gora. We could call him the Hungarian Juan Carlos Navarro, as David Vojvoda checks back into the game. Exciting player to watch. Got a 5-second violation? No, we got a foul, pardon me. Big Nemanja will go to the free throw line. It appears a foul. It's on Troy Barney's. Barney's a little bit quiet tonight. His best game he's had was 13 points against MHP Riesen. A bit quiet last week in Turkey. He's another one of those players. He's got the talent, he's got the tools. Just got to give a bit more. Nemanja Jurisic finishes the three-point play. Popovic gets a screen from Wright. Barnes pulls up, way short. And I think they just turned the AC on in the gym because that was a big air ball. Szolnoki want to talk it over. They call the timeout. Been a good game here so far. I got a feeling this one's going to go to the wire. Both teams need the win.
Easy. Guys, easy. A good screen, long. Pass. Next angle. Okay.
Coach telling them, get the good shots, make everything easy for yourself. You don't want to be forcing any shots in a game like this. You're on the road. Play at your tempo. Quiet the crowd down.
Fist one. 4-man screen. 3 and 2. 5, you are down. Hand off. Continue. Screen the 5-man.
There's a big difference there. Szolnoki Olaj 4 for 4 from 3, but only 6 points in the paint compared to Zielona Gora's 14. And a lot of it's down to that man, Nemanja Jurisic. So effective down low. You can see the post up. He's got moves, but he's also got vision to kick the ball out to the corner. He hits Zamoyski, hits an open 3. These two teams, they might be at the bottom of Group B, but they're playing some good basketball. And hopefully the winner tonight can propel this win, move on, move up the table in Group B. Armani Moore keeping his dribble alive, finishing off the backboard. A lot to offer. James Florence will bring the ball up. Gets a handoff. Kaladi, the veteran, dribbles it off his foot. He almost loses it, but Florence keeps it alive. James Kinney just dips his hand in the cookie jar. Zielona Gora will get it back sideline. They got 8 seconds on the shot clock. There you can see the vet just making his way out and gives the coach a little look. That's a timeout to Zielona Gora, hosts. Nemanja Jurisic leading the scoring. Vaughan and Moore chipped in a little 4 points each. It's only our first quarter. I'm sure these numbers from these players will propel a little bit further. As for our guest from Hungary, it's no surprise that David Vojvoda off to an early 10 points. He's averaging 14 points for his team, the top scorer. He doesn't get too much help. It's only Milos Borisov who's averaging 11. They need a little bit more from other players to step up, not only for tonight's game, but in future. There you can see James Kinney showing the resilience, showing the talent. He's got a lot to offer, James Kinney. And this is a great chance for him to step up. They're down by 1 here in the first quarter. We've got 20 seconds to go. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Florence. Cross court, Zaitsev hasn't played a lot. He almost loses it, and he gets blocked. We got 10 seconds. Kinney, pass, Barnes. Gets it off the backboard with Zaitsev in his face. Florence has got 3 seconds, got to get something off. And nothing comes up with it. As the big fella, Ryan Wright, makes himself a big tree. Difficult to get a shot off, but at the end of the first quarter, it's pretty close here in Poland. As it's Stelmet Zielona Gora 20, and Szolnoki Olaj 21. And it's been quite an interesting first quarter. Both teams really desperate for a win here in Group E. As Zielona Gora, our host, sitting 6th, and the guest sitting 7th.
In transition, we have to use.
There you can see Zielona Gora 3, 1 for 5 from the 3. While Szolnoki are 3 from 4.
Still, we have to control the tempo.
The rebounds just in favor of each other.
In offense, in defense,
Neither
we
team
got
really into too much foul trouble here in the first quarter.
Man-to-man. From
Turnovers, they've
here,
looked after the ball very well.
aggressive.
Only 2 turnovers on both sides. Zielona Gora just with 3 blocks over their guests. Shows the defense, one of those coming from an amazing defensive effort from Armani Moore. As it was Popovic went baseline, Moore just pinned him off the backboard like it was a piece of paper. It'll be an exciting matchup with that young man out there, Armani Moore. Some highlights from the first quarter. Nemanja Jurisic, look at the vision. Spotting Zamoyski in the corner. With all those players in between, it's good to have for a guy that can play on the wing, but also can play in the post. She looks over his shoulder, looking up, and very unselfish as well. Zamoyski repaying the favor and finishing the 3. Armani Moore in his isolation, he almost loses it, gets it back and lays it off the backboard. Bit of a floater there. James Kinney, another one. A very slippery player, gets in and around defenders. So lethal with that left-handed finger roll. Splits Julian Vaughan. And he gets around Kaladi as well. Nicely done. Kaladi, again, unselfish, dishes it off. Puts it off the backboard on that one. Referral was to when he dished it off to Julian Vaughan in a similar play. Vaughan threw it down and almost teared the house down with a dunk. Troy Barnes get things on the go, then bound it. James Kinney, we start the second quarter here. It's our guest by 1, 21-20. Kinney goes left and he loses it. And he turns it over. Kaladi has it at the top. We have 3 from the side, and it's an in and out. A appears we've got a foul on Milos Borisov. Correction, I believe it's Janos Ellingfield. No, it was Borisov. The cameraman just playing a few fake tricks. Zatsev keeps it alive. Florence, he's guarded by Kinney. It's a good matchup. Pulls up, 3, hand in his face. Not much you can do about that. With the hand in your face, it's good D. You just can't give him any time or space. James Florence, 2 for 2 from the arc. He takes his tally up to 8. Voivoda just going quiet a little bit. Looking for time and space, but Kaladi not giving it to him. The ball just hit the foot. Oh, this is tough. James Kinney's got a hand in his face, but Florence still managed to bury it. It's a case you just can't give him room to get a shot off. Borisov, long 2. Nothing but net. If he was just a little step back, he would have made it a 3-pointer. Kaladi, the veteran. Florence has made 1. Can he make it 3 for 3? James Florence! Again, this time with a bigger defender in his face. We call that a bit of ice butter. Evansfield off the back rim, and James Florence will break. Just slow things down here. Kicks out, Kaladi, the veteran, goes baseline. Left hand on the right side, finishes easily. And Troy Barney's, it was good defense, but that's what you get for 13 years of experience here in Europe. It's his first 2 points. Voivoda, quick shot, turnaround. Big miss. Florence will break. Bit of crisscross through the legs. He draws the foul there on James Kinney. Zielona Gora just starting to spark into life here in the second quarter. James Kinney's picked up his second foul. You see a little bit of shake and bake there from James Florence. James Kinney just not moving his feet quick enough. Got to be careful. They need him in this game. Can't pick up too many early fouls here. Kaladi takes it right. Euro step, left hand, in and out. Voivoda. Evingsfield, he'll take it with his left. It was a good move there by Janis Evingsfield, but he almost lost the ball. Grzeski will pick up the foul. It's exciting stuff to watch. Both teams being very creative here early in the game. Getting to the basket and getting some good wide open shots. Wittmann. They want to get the ball to Voivoda, but Kaladi's not having it. Voivoda, catch and shoot, 3. He's gone a little bit cold. He started off hot, and he hasn't made a shot since the first quarter in the beginning. Florence. Zatsev, he's got time and space. Good defense by Janos Evingsfield. Very smart defense there by Janis Evingsfield. He saw Zatsev coming towards him. He put his hands up, stood his ground. And by doing that, he put off the big fella. Forced him into a bad layup. Zatsev will inbound it. Florence. He hits it off his own leg, and it's a turnover. Wittmann will call the play. Popovic kicks out. Wittmann, 3. It's got a little bit cold for Szolnoki Olaj. Grzeski. Kaladi. Zatsev, the big man for 3. Well, hello. He didn't want it in the post. He said, I want it on the perimeter. I can shoot it. Looked a little bit unorthodox, but he got it to go. Vojvoda, can he get something going? Gives it off to Wittmann. Barnes kicks out. But Popovic, as he pump faked, he drew the foul there on Zaitsev. Szolnoki look like they're struggling to get a shot off right now. A little bit discombobulated. You can see Popovic trying to attack the basket there. A little bit anxious. Ryan Wright will get the ball from Vojvoda. Goes pick and roll with Wittmann, who loses it. Zielona Gora can break. Florence just slow things down here. They build a little bit of momentum. They're up 8 here in the second quarter. He goes all the way, shimmies around, and finishes with his left. And all of a sudden, Zielona Gora building a 10-point lead here midway through the second quarter. Home court advantage going in their favor, but it's the break and it's the killer instinct finish around the basket. James Florence, 3 for 3 from the three-point line. Szolnoki Olaj, they want to talk about it. They don't want that lead to get any bigger and be chasing this game. I think Christian Wittmann just got a hard hit. James Wright gave him a screen. I think he might have made a bit of an awkward contact. Looks like he's struggling there. Vojvoda started the game off on fire. It looked like every time he caught the ball, he was getting good shots. I don't think he's made a shot since the midway through the first quarter. James Florence didn't make the starting lineup. He's coming to this game, and he's punished Szolnoki Olaj. There's not a lot you can do. You can see right here, Kinney, good defense, but you can't give him any time or space to pull up with a three. And the next play down, you'll see right here. It's a tough one to defend. You got to make him drive. So lethal from the three-point line. James Florence, as mentioned before, is averaging 14 points per game. He put up an impressive 22 points against Dinamo Sassari, although they lost. Such an effective player. Ryan Wright, hand off of Vojvoda. The veteran, just shutting him down here in the second quarter, making life so difficult. And that's what the veterans' defense does. You force him into a bad pass. You can see in the first quarter, they put Armani Moore on him, and Armani Moore, excellent defender. But in his youth years, still learning. Kaladi, just showing the experience, shutting down the top scorer. Zaitsev, the big fella. I think he wants it on the three-point line. Kaladi cross court, Florence. Can he make it 4 for 4? In and out. James Kinney will break. He draws a foul there. Foul's on the veteran, Thomas Kaladi. It's his first personal. James Kinney just having the quickest step out of the two. That's one thing veteran years don't keep you up with, the quickness. Armani Moore's checking back into the game. Armani Moore, really known for his defense and his hustle. Borisov, second top scorer for this Szolnoki Olaj team, and that's why he is. A beautiful step back from 15. I think it's the first time his team has scored in a few minutes now. It's his 4th point of the game. Milos Borisov, the Montenegrin international. Moore, double crossover, bumps it right, kicks it out. Kaladi just stepped out of bounds there. He's probably wondering why the court's not big enough. You can see Voivode, no room to move. Kaladi just not given time or space. Kenny pulls up from 15 as he pump fakes, and it's in and out. James Florence will break. They'll isolate. They'll slow things down. More cross court. James Florence just missing his last 2 threes. Milos Borisov will be called for the foul. It looks like he held back Nemanja Jurisic on the rebound. Nemanja Jurisic, Milos Borisov, both natives of Montenegro. Borisov just kicks it off his foot. Zielona Gora will get it back baseline again. Kozarek checks back in. Armani Moore down low to the big fella. You can see Thomas Kaladi just making a cut to the middle. Alexa Popovich doing his defensive duties and putting a hand in the lane. Otherwise, it would have been an easy 2 in the paint. They got 5 seconds on the shot clock. He's got to create the big fella all the way. Hits everything but the rim. And James Kinney will break down the middle. Borisov. Pulls up for a 3. Nothing but net. Milos Borisov just cuts that 8-point lead down to 5. We started off well in the first quarter. Both teams just cooled down a little bit here. Armani Moore. Kozarek will go baseline. Kicks out to big Nemanja. Nemanja pump fake. 3 in the corner. The AC just turned on. Kenny's got Popovich wide open. Popovich 3 in the corner. Milos Borisov, I think he shouts in frustration at himself as he knows he clipped Armani Moore on the rebound. He'll pick up another foul. It's his 3rd personal foul. It's a silly one to give away. They really need him. It's the 2nd top scorer for Szolnoki Olaj. They can't afford for him to be out of this game. Kozarek, shake and bake, down to Armani Moore. Bit of a mismatch against Popovich. And he fumbles and loses it. Evingsfield comes up with it. Alexa Popovich. Troy Barnes. Kinney down the middle. And he gets swatted by Armani Moore. He tried to go up with a little bit of a soft hand there. We got an alley-oop. Takeoff time! Nemanja Jurisic. You want to come ride Montenegro Airlines? Captain Nemanja Jurisic. And the home crowd, they really love that one. They get off their feet. Evingsfield, unsure where to shoot. Barnes, 3. Just quiets his critics. Troy Barnes, University of Maine. Very exciting player. Been a little bit quiet in the Basketball Champions League, but nonetheless quite a lethal weapon. We got a 3 from the side. We'll just go back and forth. It's a shootout, ladies and gentlemen. Zamoyski, 2nd one tonight. He's 2 for 4 from the 3-point line. Barnes. Hand up, Voivode. He'll cross over, fall down. And it looks like there's been a kick ball there on either Zamoyski or Nemanja Jurisic. Either way, it bails out David Voivode. You can see, beautiful crossover. Loses his footing. Voivoda's not going nowhere. Something the referee saw. It's a kick ball. And they'll go back to 14 on the shot clock. Voivoda. Side, Barnes. Almost lose it. Voivoda, pull up, tough three. Again, same result. We got a break. Zamoyski, what we got? Neatly lays it off the backboard, but a good break there from Zamoyski. Zielona Gora just starting to run away with this one. Kinney. Baseline, kicks it out. Voivoda. Barnes, three in the corner. He's got to make it. Can't get it. Big Nemanja with the rebound. Kozarek pulls up in transition. And is there any water at the bottom of the cup? That's what he said to the crowd. Kozarek, his first 3 points of the game. Barnes, hand off with Voivoda. Tries to split the screen, but Julian Vaughan's not letting him. Pulls up with a crazy shot off the backboard. And Zielona Gora just starting to set the tempo in this game. Szolnoki Olaj, they're not careful, they're going to be playing at their rules. 5 seconds to go in the first half. Kozarek off to Vaughan, fumbles it. And that's the end of the first half here on the west side of Poland. It's our host, Zielona Gora, 43. And our visitors, Szolnoki Olaj from Hungary, 31. It's been an exciting game here. The tempo was set in the first quarters. It was back and forth. And Zielona Gora really springing into life here in the second part of the second quarter. James Florence coming off the bench, usually a starter, was lighting it up from the three-point line, making some tough shots. The big man, Nemanja Jurisic, starting to play his tempo as well, setting a tone. David Voivoda for Szolnoki Olaj, the top scorer, who's averaging 15 points per game. He started off on fire, couldn't miss a shot, but he has not made a basket beyond the first half of the first quarter. We're really struggling. But it's Zielona Gora. The turnover was pretty equal between both. Both teams really going for this. Remember, they're both 1-3 in Group E. Florence and Voivoda, top scorers for both, 10 apiece, but Voivoda, those 10 points are coming in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter. Can't buy a bucket right now, and they really need to get him going. Such a good player, David Voivoda. Group E is a tough group. It's Besiktas. They're at the top of the group. They've been chased by Ike and Partizan in third and knocking on the door. Really, one of these teams can start to sneak their way into the top 4 and really start to make some noise. But right now, at the end of the first half, we'll show a few highlights. You can see Kozarek trying the alley-oop. Vaughan picking it up, throwing it down. And he almost brings the house down with this one. You see the backboard just shimmying. Armani Moore. He's got the capacity to get to the basket and the resilience to kiss it off the backboard. Got a nice block shot down in the first quarter. He pinned Popovic off the backboard. David Voivoda, tough shot. But he hasn't scored in the second quarter, and they really need him to come to life. Such a good player, David Voivoda. Nemanja Jurisic showing the resilience down in the low post. The textbook post play. Not so much muscle in his way around. And here you can see a little bit of vision. Kicks it in the corner to Zamoyski. Repays the favor and makes the three. He's guarded by his fellow countryman, Milos Borisov, who's the second top scorer for Szolnoki Olaj. These two, a lot of respect and admiration, and Armani Moore, a bit of isolation, and manages to keep his dribble alive and float it off the backboard. James Kinney been a little bit quiet as well in the second quarter. Slippery, getting his way around the defenders and finishing neatly. They need a bit more of that. They need more options than just Voivoda. It's such an important game for both teams. Both teams only 1 win, 3 losses. It's week 5. I know it's early days, but you've got to start picking up some more victories if you're going to make some noise here in the Basketball Champions League. And Voivoda struggles. Kind of down to that man, Thomas Kaladi. Playing veteran defense on him, not giving him any room to breathe. James Kinney just kicking it off there to Barnes. He finishes with Zatsev in his face. Barnes with 5 points. He hit a big three in the second quarter. He's making a big physical move there. University of Maine, Troy Barnes. He's been in and around a few clubs in Europe. You hear from James Florence, an isolation and a three with a hand in his face. It's a tough shot to make, and you really can't play in any better defense than that. Other than James Kinney's got to realize you can't give him any room to even get a shot off. James Florence, he loves the isolation. I think here you can see he's going to make a three with an even bigger player. Borisov, his hand in his face, but he still gets it to go. They cannot give James Florence any room to get a shot off. 3 3-pointers in the first half. And his coach loves it. Milos Borisov, second top scorer for Szolnoki Olaj. Showing the capacity, even as a big man, step back from 15 feet. And he can also shoot the three-pointer. You can see right here, just a little bit of space, no hesitation. Pulls up, gets nothing but net. The Montenegrin experienced player. But a big play, big game to play in the second half. Kozarek just says to Jurisic, take us on a ride. We'll go for liftoff. And Houston, we do not have a problem. As the big man Nemanja throws it down. The home crowd just erupted after that. Right now, Zielona Gora got a 12-point lead. They're setting the tone. They're going to want to come out and finish this game off. They don't want this to be close because they're at home. They don't want to build any pressure on them. They want to go to 2-3 tonight, not 1-4. Zamoyski just showing they can get out on the break. Welcome back to the western side of Poland, in the land famous for winery and Polish culture. And also tonight, Stelmet Zielona Gora, also giving this area a bit more fame and glory, because Stelmet Zielona Gora are currently up by 12 points against their visitors Szolnoki Olaj from Hungary. And we're in Group E. It's an exciting game. Both teams really need to pick up another victory here early in the early stages of the Basketball Champions League. Both at 1 and 3. Both want to go to 2 and 3 and not 1 and 4. It's been a good half so far. It started off on fire with both teams, but Zielona Gora in the second part of the second quarter just starting to run away with it and set their tempo. Thomas Kaladi playing some veteran and experienced defense on David Voivoda, shutting him down. Voivoda not scoring at all in the second quarter. Kozarek lighting it up. He's got 2 3-pointers, but it's all about James Florence. It's the James Florence show right now. He's got 10 points. He didn't start tonight. He's come off the bench. He's giving that home crowd. You can see the fans loving the DJ mix. They've been a loud voice, got behind their team. Zielona Gora, they'll want to run away with this in the second half. They do not want this to be close. They want to give Szolnoki Olaj any chances to get back in it. Group E, it's fair to say Group E belongs to the big three, Besiktas, Ike, and Partizan. Just a few teams will be knocking on the door. MHP Reason, Dinamo Sassari, and tonight's opponents in Stelmet Zielona Gora and Szolnoki Olaj. It's only early days, it's week 5. But you got to start picking up more and more victories, because pretty soon we'll be going on to qualifying. And both teams they're not just here to make noise. It was pretty even in the first quarter. Szolnoki Olaj really hit fire. But you know, you could see losing out there in the second quarter. Losing that quarter 23-10. And that's why they're on the deficit. David Voivoda really hit fire in the first quarter. And as mentioned, has not scored in the second quarter. And he's got to get it going. Top scorer for this team, averaging 15 points per game. Followed by Milos Borisov with 11. Borisov doing an okay job in the second quarter. But they got to dig deep here in the second half. We're underway. Armani Moore, the defensive hustler. We're going to go down the middle. It's a floater, and he gets it to go. It's a tough shot. It's a great way to start. Zamoyski, great way to start the second half. Zamoyski up to 10 points, playing very impressive. They kick out. Barney's 3, side. Tough shot, and they really needed that one. Can't get that deficit any bigger. Troy Barney's, University of Maine. He's up to 8 points with his second 3 of the game. Zamoyski gives it to Big Nemanja. Armani Moore almost loses it. Troy Barney's just tips it out. Zielona Gora inbound at sideline. Kozarek. Bignan, Nemanja, open 3. It's beautiful. It's a shootout. Jurisic. Nemanja Jurisic only averaging 9 points a game with 4 rebounds. Played very well here in this game. Kinney kicks it out. Ryan Wright just fumbles it. Zamoyski back to Armani. We've got a traveling violation. Yep, it's a good call. The referee spotted the travel by Armani Moore just as he caught it. He moved both feet before he put the ball on the floor. Zielona Gora just 7 turnovers over. Oh, David Voivoda almost turning it over. Giannis Evingsfield. Ryan Wright, the big fella. Give it to Voivoda. And he throws it away, tries a lob. Ryan Wright not even looking to get the ball. Troy Barnes just picks up the foul. There you can see Barnes just making a bit of contact. A little bit soft, but nonetheless a stupid foul to give away. Vaughan, handoff, Kozarek. They try the alley-oop. Ryan Wright, a little bit dangerous there. But he stops Julian Vaughan from throwing it down. Kinney dribbles into trouble, nowhere to go. Pulls up for three. Way short. Armani Moore will come up with the rebound. Jurisic gives it to Kozarek. We got a three from the side. Jurisic, easy rebound, but just could not finish it. Julian Vaughan tips it out. A little bit sloppy in the last two possessions. Milos Borisov will check back into the game. Second top scorer for Szolnoki Olaj. He got his get something going for him as well. As will Christian Wittmann. Voivoda pulls up three. Can he get it? The struggles continue. And Vaughan, he had all the time to catch it, and he had a free passage. But he fumbles it, and it's another turnover.
Substitution on team. Out number 7.
Again, trying to. Goes hand off with big man Nemanja. Vaughan kicks it to the corner, unselfish. That's good ball movement, and the end product even better. Zamoyski hits another three-pointer. It's his third one tonight. He takes his tally up to 13 points. Popovic. Heavily guarded, but Armani Moore just called for the foul there. It's a tough one because it's good defense, but a bit too much contact. Big fella Zatsev will check back in. Big Igor Borisov catch and shoot. And it's a miss. And we'll break down the other end. Kozarek. Armani's backing down Christian Wittmann. Spin, baseline, corner. Zamoyski, another one. That's his fourth three tonight, and he's lining it up. And it's early Christmas right now for Stelmet Zielona Gora. And Zamoyski is now 4 for 7 from the three-point line. Szolnoki Olaj will talk it over, because right now the home side are running away with it. What's interesting with Szolnoki Olaj started on fire from the three-point line. Zielona Gora just sort of outplaying them from that game. And also dominating it within the paint. The 2-pointers. Szolnoki Olaj just look, the body language, they look lifeless right now. They've really got to pick themselves up. Another big stat there. Stelmet just dominating in the paint, 24 to Szolnoki Olaj's 8. We said before that both teams not really renowned for their big post players, but Ryan Wright with his size, got to give him a better option down low. He's capable, but if he doesn't call for it, he won't get it. You need more points in the paint. Troy Barnes Give them a little bit more life there from the perimeter. They need a bit more. Christian Wittmann spin around on Kozarek. Popovic, Voivoda. A pick and roll, Evingsfield. It's a nice play, but the end product just can't make it. Kozarek. Armani Moore. Drives to his right. Zamoyski, it can't be 5. Yes, it can! Zamoyski, 5 for 8. He's on fire. Santa's come early in Poland tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Voivoda. Wittmann, the second shot tonight. And he gets it to go from behind the arc. Still down by 20. They got to keep digging in. Kozarek. A little bit of shake and bake, pull up. Textbook play. Good defense from Christian Wittmann. But Kozarek just showing the experience, showing the quickness. He goes up to 5 points. Down the other end. Wittmann, no room to breathe, no room to move. Kozarek picks up another foul. It's his, first personal foul for Kozarek.
Substitution Olaj team, out number 9, Dawid Voivoda, in number 3,
Troy Barnes.
Shot clock at 14, 14 sekund na oddanie rzutu.
Evingsfield. Wittmann hit his last. Can't get his next. Zielona Gora. Zamoyski. The sharpshooter. 5 threes, 5 for 8. Troy Barney's got to make sure he doesn't get another one off. Zatsev, the big fella. In and out. Julian Vaughn can't come up with the offensive board, but showing the size and power. And Zamoyski picks up a foul as he fouls Troy Barnes. That's his second personal. Wittmann. Wittmann slips over. We got a break. Is it showtime? It's organized. It's neat. It's an easy finish. And it's a 24-point lead to Zielona Gora. Christian Wittmann just losing his footing, slipping over. It's all nerves right now for Szolnoki Olaj. Barnes, nowhere to go. Evingsfield for 3. He cuts it down to 21. And it's all perimeter play right now from Szolnoki Olaj. Zatsev. Kozarek. Julian Vaughn. And I thought he was going to put Troy Barnes on a poster. And instead he swings it around with his left and finishes off the backboard. Barnes tries a pump fake. Good defense from Moore. Down low to Popovic. Good defense. Zamoyski will come up with the rebound. You can listen to the home crowd. They're loving it. Kozarek, too much dribbling as he loses it. Borisov on the break. And Wittmann behind the back. A pump fake. And he misses the wide open, but he tips it back in. Christian Wittmann with the behind the back. Thought it was a little bit risky. Borisov managed to tip back his own miss. It's a 21-point lead to the hosts. Zatsev, the big man, kicks in the middle. Christian Wittmann just fouls Armani Moore. He'll check out of the game. James Kinney will come back in. As will the big man, Nemanja Jurisic. Along with the sharpshooter, who in all fairness, it was James Florence who started the roll and the run for this team. Mr. Fuego, you can't leave him open. Nemanja dribbles it off himself, just as I gave him too many accolades. Gets a turnover just after checking in. Give him a little bit of time to get into game mode, and it'll be more effective and more lethal. Kinney will bring the ball up for Olaj. He's guarded by James Florence. Borisov. The two countrymen, and he gets blocked by Jurisic. Jurisic has got to be careful. You can't clap at the referees like that. It's antagonizing. You don't want to pick up a technical foul. You're having a great game here. You picked up your third personal. Don't want to make it silly. Here you can see, smart play there from Milos Borisic. Pump fake, gets Jurisic up in the air. Jurisic, they're always 50-50 when you got a hand on it. Well, most coaches would like to say that the hand is a part of the ball. With the slightest contact, especially in the form of a shot, can always be a foul. Milos Borisic. Borisov will go to the line. He hits his first. Second top scorer for Szolnoki Olaj. He's averaging 11 points a game. 12 points in their recent loss to Partizan. Good player, Milos Borisov. Makes them both. Go check out, and David Voivoda will come back in. It's a good matchup to watch. Milos Borisov go up against Nemanja. Big man Nemanja. Jurisic. Two men from Montenegro. Respect and admiration. But right now, they want to pick up that second win here in the Basketball Champions League. It's all business. Florence. Go pick and roll with Zaitsev. Goes to his left. Brings it round to his right. And it looked nice, but he can't finish. Voivoda. He has not scored since the first quarter. Kinney kicks out. Barney's long three. Off the back rim. We'll break down the other end. We've got 3-on-1. You see Popovic just getting back. Deflecting the pass. Hustling back. Rosetsky, who was going to be on the other end of that pass, can't pick it up. I think Kaladi's just saying to the officials, one of you saying it's their ball, you said it's our ball. The officials got it right. Zielona Gora will have it baseline. Florence. Goes to his left. Big man Nemanja. He thought about the shot. Back to Florence. This is what he loves. Isolation. He wants to pull up for that shot. He'll lose it. Voivoda, can he get his next 2 points? He neatly dunks it, and that's his first 2 points since the first quarter. He's at 12 points right now. He's averaging 15, but they really have needed him. And anything's possible. We're in the last minute of the third quarter. Szolnoki Olaj, 10 minutes. It's more than enough time to mount a comeback. Zielona Gora will call timeout, and they'll want to talk about it.
Again, we want to score everyone. If he scores down, use the spacing.
Zamoyski is only averaging in this tournament 8 points per game. As you can see, he's top scorer with 19. He's got 5 3-pointers. He's having a hell of a game. I really like Stelmet Zielona Gora. They've got a lot to offer, a lot of talent. They started off with close losses to Dinamo Sassari and Partizan. They picked up a good win against MHP Reason. But it was last week. They went to the Lions Den in Besiktas. They didn't play too poorly, in all fairness. But the results doesn't really suggest their play. They've got a lot of firepower in this team. And I really think they can pick up a win tonight. They can start to move forward and really make some noise here in the Basketball Champions League. They sit third in their domestic lead in Poland with a 5-2 record. David Voivoda picking up his first 2 points since the first quarter. He's really got to get going now. Just under a minute to go here in the third quarter. Kaladi. Cross court. We've got a pump fake. Big man Nemanja goes to the middle, does a little finger roll in the air. It's a 19-point lead to Zielona Gora. Barnes. Popovic. Alexa Popovic, not a lot of options. James Kinney. Step back. No good. It's been the story of his night so far. The last 20 seconds, James Florence. One of the most creative players on the court. It's James Florence time. He's going to isolate. He'll use a pick. Gives it to big man Nemanja. We got a foul. I think the foul is on David Vojvoda. 6 seconds ago here in the third quarter. Got a handoff. Florence has got to shoot it. Can't get it to go. And that will be the end of the third quarter. Zielona Gora really built a lead here. They're up by 19. They were up as many as 24. And they're just starting to run away with this game. We've got another quarter to go. It's more than enough time for Szolnoki Olaj to come back. They just haven't got going. They started off well in the first quarter, and they went cold throughout the second, and scrapping for a few baskets in the third quarter. We just saw Zielona Gora lighting it up from the perimeter, thanks to Zamoyski. He's got 5 of those 10 three-pointers.
You have to remember what I was saying in the locker room.
You can also see Zielona Gora dominating the rebounds, 28-16. It's a big stat right there. The turnovers split evenly with both teams. Szolnoki Olaj really in the first quarter loving to play a bit of counter-attacking, fast break basketball. They need a bit more. Vojvoda, there you can see, top scorer for Szolnoki Olaj. But he's only scored his last 2 points in this quarter, and he hadn't scored since the first quarter. They need other players to step up, give them some more options. Zamoyski, 19 points, you can see there. Beautiful move. Troy Barnes lining up a little bit from the perimeter. They need a bit more of that in this fourth quarter. Zamoyski, you can see the range, and Armani Moore kicking it out to Zamoyski, hitting his 4th three-pointer. That being his 5th. He's on fire tonight, 5 for 8 from the perimeter. Excellent perimeter shooting stat. Only averaging 8 points per game in the Basketball Champions League. And he'll be jumping those stats up tonight. Christian Wittmann's troubles continue. He slips over. Kosterek just benefiting off the cherry picking. Fourth quarter underway. Szolnoki Olaj, they can come back. They got to dig in and play together. Kinney. Vojvoda turns it over with a travel. Not a good way to start the fourth quarter. Jay Florence will bring the ball up. Big Nemanja will go handoff. He's got 5 seconds. They got to get a shot. Zamoyski. Grzeski, excuse me. Grzeski showing. Karol Grzeski. He's only scored 3 points tonight, and he's averaging 13 points per game. And now you can see why he's such a lethal scorer. Kenny. Barnes, step back. Troy Barnes makes his 3rd three of the night. And he takes his tally up to 11 points. It appears to be a 2-pointer. Barnes is up to 10 points. While Grzeski says, hey Troy, you can score. You give me the ball, I'll make another one. Grzeski lights it up from 3. They go down the right. Extremely quiet big man. A fadeaway. And the veteran will come up with it. Gruzetsky. Kicks out. Florence. The foul's on the ground. It's on James Kinney. And he'll be very happy with how his team's played tonight. They're up 23. And a double change here as Evingsfield and Milos Borisov will check back in. Home fans loud, making their voices heard. Supporting the team, giving them something to cheer for. Florence. Down low. A fadeaway in the paint. Textbook like a bloody Divac play there. One dribble, spins to the middle, and he fades away. Kinney. Popovic. Just stepped out of bounds. That's another turnover. Good play, Alexa Popovic. Just hasn't got his way tonight. He's got a lot to offer for this team. Evingsfield just getting a shot there to the gut. We're going to switch on defense. The mismatch. Barney's. He's going to pick up a foul if he keeps reaching. Kaladi had the right idea, but Barney's will break down the middle and he loses it to Florence. You got to protect the ball on the break. If not, you got to give it to your guard. Someone who can keep control of it. Florence. Heavily guarded. Barney's is still. Good way to remake for the mistake. Popovic on the break.
2 points, Alexa Popovic.
So 2 points for Alexa Popovic. Such an experienced player, Alexa Popovic. Scored 13 points and they're winning as Dinamo Sassari. Popovic. Big man Nemanja. They go down low. It looks like there's a foul on the ground in Janos Evingsfield. It's his second personal foul. Christian Wittmann will check back in. Gets his hand into the lane, knocks it out of bounds. James Florence, very exciting player. Very creative. Loves to isolate and pull up. Kaladi, the veteran. That's why he's a veteran. Years of experience, and he pulls up. And he drains it from the top of the three. Popovic. The foul's on the ground. It's on Karol Gruzetsky.
W ekipie Stelmetu BC Karol Gruzetsky. Trzecie przewinienie zawodnika.
Borisov, three from top. Off Evingsfield. You never get an easier two than that. Defense just fell asleep. And he picks it off like a scavenger and finishes it. Janos Evingsfield.
Korzystając z chwili przerwy chciałbym zaprosić wszystkich fanów, którzy chcą wspierać dopingiem Stelmet BC do klubu Kibica. Do klubu Kibica można zgłosić.
You gotta wonder, the scoreline as it is now, both of these teams sitting in the bottom three of Group E. It was an exciting first quarter. Both teams just went back and forth. Oh, there you can see turns it over, but a little too fancy. Popovic avoids the block from Kaladi. As we were just saying, it started in the second quarter. James Florence came into the game. Just started to light the game up here for Zielona Gora. You can see the experience. A pick and roll baseline, bounce pass, and a neat finish off the backboard. Adam Krisanik. He's got 4 points tonight. Evingsfield, Yanis takes it in, finishes it off the backboard. Szolnoki Olaj, they started off well. It was David Vojvoda, their top scorer. He couldn't miss a shot. He went quiet, and there's not a lot of other options here for Szolnoki Olaj. There you can see David Vojvoda checks back in, only 12 points, 10 of those in the first quarter. If you're going to play in the Basketball Champions League, you've got to have a bit more firepower, a few more go-to players. Julian Vaughn, not a foundation big man, but he fits as a cog in the machine. Such a big and physical presence. He works so hard. Yanis Ellingsfield hits the front rim and can't make that three. James Florence just slowed things down. Kaladi gets Popovich off his feet. Big man to Mania. They got 4 seconds. It's a deep three. No way. There you can see Julian Vaughn. But he's penalized for travel. Just look at the sheer strength of Julian Vaughn. One dribble, just slight contact. Popovich went flying, and he rips the rim down. Ryan Wright will check back in. Popovich will just take a break. The turnovers do not suggest a scoreline. Zielona Gora 17 to Szolnoki Olaj's 12. Vojvoda gets it in the corner, nicely done. He runs the baseline, gets his feet set, and he's up to 14. They need a little bit more than David Vojvoda. He needs a little bit of help. James Florence, he's got the pick from Vaughn. Down low to Nemanja, good catch. Nemanja Jurisic, he had Milos Borisov to his right, and Christian Bittman to his left. He still caught it. The former University of Georgia, played 4 years, scored 1,000 points. No way from way out. That was double the distance of the NBA three-point line. And there you can see an excellent idea from Milos Borisov, but Ryan Wright just not ready. Zamoyski and Armani Moore will come back in. They'll try to finish this game off. Zatsev also checks back in. The big fella who likes to shoot threes more than he likes to back down. Zamoyski behind the back. Little cute play there. David Vojvoda just picks up a foul. Second. They get into Jay Vaughn. Jay Florence will attack the basket. He throws up a floater. He'll go to the line for two. See Ryan Wright just saying to the ref, I fouled him on the ground. Looked like he did foul him on the ground. He was in the act of shooting. James Florence will go to the line for two. James Florence played his college basketball at Mercer. He's averaging 14 points per game in the Basketball Champions League. An impressive 22 points against Dinamo Sassari. Last week he started off on fire against Besiktas, but you know, just wasn't to be seen in the second ladder of the game. Vojvoda. Very similar to David Vojvoda in this game. Borisov. He'll attack off the backboard, and it's an offensive foul. Good defense from Zamoyski. He stood his ground, he took a charge. And it looked like a good move there from Milos Borisov. A pump fake in the lane. But even better defense from Zamoyski as he sets his feet and draws the offensive foul. Zaitsev goes handoff. Florence, a little bit of shake and bake. Downloaded Zaitsev in the corner. He's got 4 seconds, he's got to shoot it. Zamoyski, can he make it 6 threes? Oh, yes he can! Zamoyski is on fuego. 6 of 9, 22 points. And this leads down to that young man, as he won't miss it. He's hit his last 3 in a row. Moore. And it's a blocking foul now, Armani Moore. The ball went down to Ryan Wright. He caught it. He bumped Armani Moore. He draws a foul, and he'll go to the line for 2. Szolnoki Olaj, if they could just somehow get a bit more from Ryan Wright down low. He's so big and strong. They can really make defenses stretch. Take the pressure off Borisov and Voivoda. He's a good player, Ryan Wright. He's capable of it. He's going to need more in this competition if they're going to do better. Armani Moore shakes and fakes, gets blocked off the backboard, and they'll break. Voivoda misses a wide open, well, not a wide open layup, but he can't get the layup to go. Wittman calls a pick from Wright. Bounce pass. Throw it down, big man! And he gets hacked by Julian Vaughn. And he'll go to the line for 2 shots. That's a good play there from Ryan Wright. You can see he sets the screen, he rolls right away. And that's what he can offer to this team. That's all he's got to do, make a presence down there, call for the ball. He's so big and physical, it makes it hard for any defenders that will try to guard him. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. An interesting stat about his counterpart, Julian Vaughn, was 3 for 11 from the free throw line against Besiktas. And is struggling with only 31% from free throws here in the Basketball Champions League. Ryan Wright just makes it 1 out of 2. You can see the beers there from the Szolnoki Olaj fans from Hungary. Still cheering for their team. You gotta love that. The team might be down, but the loyal support. Armani Moore. Zamoyski goes down the middle, off the backboard is right. Armani Moore tries to rip the rim down, but he can't get it. Wittman, we're under a minute to go here. Group E. Wittman goes screen. They swing it. Long 18 foot. It's a swish. Popovich comes up with an interception. We got another break. And a very weak layup. And not a good end product. And another steal. Very sloppy here in the last few seconds. And a 3 that is way off. Zamoyski will just slow things down. It's the second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Zielona Gora, it's fair to say that this game is over. And they'll be picking up the second win here in Group E. They haven't played poorly in the previous 4 games. They got a lot to offer here in the Basketball Champions League. And definitely use this win to propel their Basketball Champions League campaign. As in the west of Poland, in the land of winery and traditional Polish culture, Stelmet Zielona Gora will win this one 83-63 against Szolnoki Olaj. Szolnoki Olaj, the gap just gets bigger and bigger between them and the teams above them. They started off on fire in the first quarter. They just could not start to string buckets together in the second, third, and fourth. And they slumped to 1-4 in Group E. While the hosts, they put a bit of pressure off their shoulders, just making them a name, saying that they matter. They can move forward here in the Basketball Champions League. 14 for 27 from the three-point line. 18 for 30 within the three. They played very well. Dominated in the rebounds, 35 to 22. It's fair to say they played an excellent game of basketball. Zamoyski, you'll just see in a minute, he top scored for this team. We said before, the turnovers do not reflect the scoreline. See Jurisic and Borisov, two countrymen from Montenegro, showing appreciation. Zamoyski with 22 points. He only averages 8 points per game here in the first 4 games of Group E. And he's definitely put his scoring record up. He was on fire tonight, 6 for 9 from three-point. Home fans just showing the appreciation to the Montenegrin coach. They're 2-3. They can really move forward, propel here in Group E. Just maybe they can join Partizan soon and knock on the door against Ike and Besiktas, who are favourites to finish in the top 2 of Group E. Kozarek and Kaladi, along with Vaughan and Moore, and that man James Florence. He didn't start tonight. He came off the bench and he really got things going. Zamoyski, although he was a hot rod from the three-point line, just showing the capacity to get in the paint. Troy Barney's 3 threes tonight just wasn't enough, because it was all about that man, Zamoyski, 6 of 9. You see Moore penetrating baseline and spotting the Z-man in the corner, and he really lit it up. Again, Armani Moore, he knows where the Z-man is. Zamoyski just repays the favor. That was the story of tonight. They were 14 for 27 from the perimeter. And they absolutely killed this game with a 20-point win. Christian Wittmann, a talented individual, but his struggles continued as they did against Partizan. Just losing his footing as Kozarek acts like a vulture and scavenges at 2 points. Now that play, I thought Julian Vaughan was going to bring the house down, but shows the neat finish off with his left hand. Voivoda, top scorer for this Szolnoki Olaj team. That was his only 2 points outside the first quarter. He's an excellent, exciting player. He can get a shot off when he wants, but he really did freeze in the second part of this game. Grzycki, his only 3 points of the game. Correction, he had another one after that, but averaging 13, was quite quiet tonight. He averages 13 points per game, Karol Grzycki. Kaladi, the veteran, he pulls up for a crucial 3. Really a nail in the coffin. The American-born Polish international who represented Poland in the 2011 Eurobasket. 14 years of experience here in Europe. Acts as a mentor to James Florence, Armani Moore, and Julian Vaughan. Zamoyski, that was his 6th and final 3. Really lit it up on fire tonight. Mr. Fuego. Ryan Wright, exceptionally quiet big man tonight. Getting his M1. But it's all over here tonight. And Zielona Gora pull a bit of pressure off their coach, their team. They move to 2 and 3 here in the Basketball Champions League of Group E. They're hugging it, MHP, Reason. And They're giving themselves something to play for. They'll be knocking on the door. And they'll be trying to get on to the next round. It's all over tonight. Zielona Gora